Our idea is called the Carpoolr, and it's a service that lets people hook up with each other if they want to have a carpool going. So
Casual hookups.
casual carpool hookups. No, yeah. That's version 2.0. We're not getting to that quite yet. So first thing I'm going to talk about is cars. I mean, they're one of the most important innovations of the century, but they're sort of like Frankenstein's monster. And all of the good things seem to have some bad things that come with it. So we have resource wars and pollution and global warming and all of these things attached to using cars. And the worst thing is that we don't use them efficiently. Someone will drive their big SUV like 20 miles to work with no one else in the car. So there's definitely a demand out there for people that want to carpool and contribute and reduce all of these problems. But there's not necessarily a good way to do it. The technology may not be in place yet. So we're going to design a service that lets them do that. And of course, one of the important things is location. It's all based on location, where I am, where I'm going to go to. So our service, we see everyone putting in the location of where they are and where they like to go to. And then we can plot it all using sort of like a Google Maps mashup. So you can say, okay, I'm going to head here, and I need a ride, and I see someone's offering a ride that's close by. And you can sort of build a route using the system with Google Maps. You'll have push pins for all of the locations, and we can suggest a route for you using like a routing algorithm. So we can say, okay, I'm here, I need a ride, someone's offering a ride close by, and I'm going downtown, and these other people are also going downtown. So maybe these three people can go along with me for the ride, and we'll all get together and set up this carpool by talking to each other through the service. And of course, this is heavily based on social networks. And you don't want to just take a ride with anyone, so it's important that you don't know who's going to pick you up in the white van, right? Yeah, with like an airbrush painting on the side. It says like, if this van's a rockin', don't come knocking. You don't want that van to show up at your place. So we'll have social networks involved, so you can say, okay, well, I see someone's offering a ride. How well do I know this person? And through all of the other people in the carpool network, you can see this person is 2 connections away from you. And you can contact the person you know and say, oh, I see this person's offering a ride. You know them. Like, are they cool? Is everything fine? And if you've taken a ride and you know they're fine, then you can sort of add them as a friend and say that you can vouch for them. So that way you avoid the white van situation. And the interesting thing is I think this is pretty focused and not too hard to implement. It can have a real impact. You can actually measure how many miles are being saved on cars, right? Because you know where everyone's going to. And you can say, okay, well, if they hadn't gotten the carpool, here's how much they would have driven. And by taking the carpool, here's how much they actually did drive. So for each person on their profile, you can say, well, this person has driven this many less miles per year and has, this much less CO2 has been put into the atmosphere, and they've used this much less gas, and they've saved this much money. And part of the fairness is of sharing the burden of driving is that you would pay back the person that you're carpooling with for gas, but since it's a carpool and everyone's not driving on their own, it's going to be much less than if everyone did drive on their own. So you're going to be able to see that you're saving money, and you're stopping CO2 from going to the atmosphere, using less gas, so on and so forth. And it's a service that's not that hard to implement, and I think it could definitely have an impact. So that's the proposal for Carpoolr. Do you have any questions?